Lily Stone sat at the small control desk of the research base in Arizona. The night was quiet, and the desert stretched far beyond the walls of the base. Stars shone like tiny fires in the black sky. She adjusted her headphones and focused on the screens in front of her. Beside her, Ethan Cole, a young engineer with short brown hair and steady hands, checked the signals coming from deep space. The base had been quiet for weeks. The team mostly tracked known satellites and the occasional cosmic storm. But tonight, something was different. A strange pattern appeared on the monitor. It pulsed in rhythm, a soft signal from far beyond their galaxy. Ethan frowned. "Lily, come look at this," he said. "It doesn't match anything we have. It's not random noise either." Lily leaned over. The pattern was steady. It moved like a chant, a kind of rhythm that seemed alive. She felt a shiver run down her spine. "It feels familiar," she whispered. "I don't know why, but I've heard something like this before." Ethan tapped the keyboard. "I've tried decoding it with all standard formats. Nothing works. It's like it's speaking a language we don't know." Lily's eyes widened. "A language? From them?" She did not finish the sentence. No one had ever spoken of alien languages in the base, except as theory. But this signal did not sound like theory. It sounded like someone or something was trying to communicate. Days passed, and the signal kept repeating. Sometimes it would pause, and then it would start again, like it was waiting for a response. The rhythm became almost hypnotic to Lily. At night, she would lie in bed, and the pulse would echo in her mind, like a heartbeat she could not escape. Then the news came. Huge ships appeared in orbit above Earth. Governments around the world issued statements. The aliens called themselves the Serath Union. They were sending peaceful messages, promising no harm. But everyone was on edge. Lily and Ethan were summoned to a meeting at the United Nations headquarters. The world wanted experts to help communicate with the visitors. Lily had studied languages, ancient and modern. Ethan knew machines better than anyone. Together, they might be the key to understanding the signals. On the shuttle to the space station where the first meeting would take place, Lily stared out the small window at Earth below. It looked fragile and quiet, but something in her chest felt heavy, as if she already knew that this journey would change everything. She could not stop thinking about the signal. She whispered the soft rhythm to herself again, trying to remember it exactly as it had come. Ethan noticed. "You're obsessed," he said, smiling. "It's just noise, or maybe a glitch." "I don't think it's a glitch," Lily replied. "It feels alive, like it wants me to hear it, like it's waiting for me." That night, in her cabin, Lily fell asleep to the soft hum of the shuttle. In her dreams, she walked through endless halls carved from cold stone. Stars hung on the ceiling, glowing faintly. The air smelled of dust and metal. Then she heard a voice, soft but firm. It spoke in a language she had never learned. The sounds were strange, sharp, and flowing at the same time. But the words made sense in her mind. They told her something important, though she could not yet understand what. When she woke, she felt different. A phrase from the dream was on her lips, and she repeated it softly. Ethan, passing by, stopped. "What was that?" he asked. I don't know," Lily said. She shook her head. "It's just a dream, maybe." Ethan hesitated. "It sounded like the rhythm of the signal," he said quietly. "Can you say it again?" Lily repeated the words. Ethan typed them into the system, comparing them to the deep space pattern. His eyes widened. The words matched perfectly. It was impossible. How could a human dream create an exact match to a signal coming from beyond the galaxy? The shuttle docked at the space station the next day. The first meeting with the Serath Union delegation was tense. Humans and aliens exchanged bows and greetings. The alien leader, a tall figure with blue skin and silver markings, spoke calmly. His name was High Mediator Tharian. Beside him stood an older alien, robed in silver and blue, holding a carved staff. His eyes were deep, almost sad. He introduced himself as Priest Luthar, the keeper of old paths. Lily and Ethan watched closely. The aliens spoke in their own language, and translators converted it into English. But there were gaps. One word repeated in their speech could not be translated. Every time someone asked its meaning, the aliens went silent. The word sounded like the rhythm of the signal, like something Lily had heard in her dream. During the ceremony, Priest Luthar led a ritual. His voice echoed through the hall, a low chant that vibrated in the walls. The translation devices rendered most of it, but the mysterious word appeared again. This time, Lily felt her heart beat faster. The word seemed to call to her. Without thinking, she stood up. Her lips moved, and she repeated the phrase from her dream. It came out smooth, without effort. The room fell silent. Every alien froze. Every human looked at her in shock. Luthar's eyes widened. His staff slipped from his hands and hit the floor. He whispered something in broken English. She speaks the language, the lost language of the Guardians. She speaks. The words echoed in Lily's mind. Guardians? Lost language? She did not understand. But she felt a strange warmth spread through her. Something old and powerful had noticed her. High Mediator Tharian looked troubled. He whispered to the other aliens. Lily could sense tension, fear, and awe, all at once. The room was filled with quiet energy. Something ancient had awakened, and Lily did not yet know what it meant. After the ceremony, Lily and Ethan were asked to meet privately with Luthar and Tharian. Earth officials watched nervously. They demanded to know why the aliens had never mentioned this ancient language before. Luthar explained that the Seraph Union had long believed the Guardians were a myth. The language Lily had spoken had been lost for centuries, maybe millennia. Only the true descendants of the Guardians could speak it. And now, he said, Lily had. Lily felt a mix of fear and wonder. She had always thought her dreams were meaningless. Now she realized that the dreams had been a bridge. Something had been waiting for her. Something older than Earth itself. Ethan put a hand on her shoulder. We have work to do, he said quietly. We need to understand what this means. Not just for us, but for everyone. Lily nodded. She looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, beyond the Seraph Union and beyond the signal, something was watching. And now, somehow, it knew her name. The journey had only begun. The hall was quiet after the ceremony. Humans whispered nervously among themselves, and the aliens stood rigid, watching Lily. Priest Luthar, still shaken, picked up his staff and examined it as if it had burned him. His blue eyes, full of age and wisdom, never left Lily. You speak the words of the Guardians, he said again, his voice low and trembling. Lily swallowed hard. I don't know what I said. It just came out. Ethan stepped beside her, holding a small tablet. It matches the signal we received from deep space. The same rhythm, the same structure. Luthar's staff trembled in his hands. This is not a coincidence. The Guardian's language is not just words, it carries power. It can open paths and awaken what has been forgotten. High Mediator Tharian watched carefully. His tall frame moved with calm precision, but his eyes were alert. Luthar, he said softly in his own tongue. Control yourself. We cannot alarm the humans further. Luthar ignored him. They must know, he said. This is why I feared today. The Guardians are not a story. They were real, and they walked among the stars. If she can speak the language, the old forces may be aware again. Lily's heart raced. Old forces? What are you talking about? Ah. Luthar leaned closer. His voice was almost a whisper, yet it seemed to echo in the hall. The Guardians protected worlds. They stopped empires from enslaving others. They shaped reality with their words. That language you spoke, it is the key. Keys open doors. Some doors are dangerous. Ethan frowned. Doors? What doors? Luthar's gaze shifted to the stars outside the window. There are places beyond the Sereth charts. Ancient structures. Old trials. Only the Guardians could approach them safely. And now, perhaps one of their descendants has awakened. Lily felt a shiver run through her. She was a normal human, a linguist from Arizona, not a Guardian. Yet something in her chest felt like it had known this moment for a long time. Why me? She whispered. I don't even understand the language fully. I just said something in my dream. The dream was a memory, Luthar said. The Guardians leave traces. Perhaps your mind carried their echoes across time. The universe remembers, even when we forget. Ethan looked at the alien priest, skeptical. So you're saying my friend here is part of some ancient alien legacy? That's a lot to take in. Luthar ignored the sarcasm. Your world was once known to the Guardians. Earth may have been their home, or at least a seed of their kind. That is why your voice resonates with the lost language. Tharion's calm voice finally interrupted. If this is true, it is dangerous. Many forces in the galaxy would seek to exploit such awakening. Earth is unprepared. Humans are strong, but untested. We must proceed carefully. Lily nodded slowly. She felt the weight of the moment. Something big was happening, bigger than any human could fully understand. The private chamber where they met was large and quiet. Earth officials hovered near the walls, unsure whether to intervene or retreat. Luthar moved to a table and laid down an ancient map. The paper was old, yellowed, and covered in strange symbols. Lily bent forward to study it. These symbols, I've never seen anything like them, she said. They are Guardians' runes, Luthar said. Each one carries a meaning, a direction, or a command. The signal you received, it points to these locations. Your dreams, the chant, they are linked. Ethan traced the lines with his finger. Wait, these coordinates, they point to Earth. Not just near Earth, but here, our solar system. Luthar's voice was solemn. That is why I fear. Something beyond the known stars is watching. The Guardians' trials wait. They were meant to test those who claim their legacy. If you fail, the consequences can be severe. Fail? How can we fail? Lily asked, her voice trembling. You must speak the language fully, Luthar said. Not just phrases. The Guardians' words are alive. They respond to intent. Fear weakens them. Confidence strengthens. Every word you speak shapes reality in subtle ways. Ethan shook his head. I don't know if any human can do that. It's like magic. Luthar's eyes softened. Not magic. Understanding. Connection. That is the essence of the Guardians. Words are bridges, not weapons, unless used wrongly. The room was silent for a long moment. Lily closed her eyes. She remembered the dream, the halls of stone, the glowing stars. She tried to speak again, slowly repeating the words she had spoken during the ceremony. As she did, a faint vibration ran through the floor, almost like the hum of the ship. Ethan looked at the monitors. Lily, the sensors are picking up something. It's subtle, but there's energy responding. Luthar's eyes widened. Yes, that is the power of the language. You are awakening it. High Mediator Therion frowned. We must be cautious. Other governments, other empires, if they learn of this, they may act against Earth. We must keep this secret until we understand its full meaning. Lily nodded. I want to understand, she said. I don't know why I can speak it, but I feel drawn to it. I want to learn. Luthar placed a hand on her shoulder. Then you must prepare. The language will demand more. You will need to speak with intent, with clarity of mind. It is not enough to repeat words. You must believe in what you are saying. The days that followed were intense. Lily and Ethan worked closely with Luthar in a private chamber of the space station. Luthar taught her small phrases, simple commands that did not yet open doors, but created small responses in the environment. Lights flickered, air circulation shifted, and even the temperature changed subtly when she spoke certain words. Ethan monitored the readings, fascinated and terrified. This is impossible, he said. Nothing should respond like this. Not in our physics. Not in any way we understand. Lily smiled faintly. Maybe it's not about physics. Maybe it's about understanding. Luthar nodded approvingly. Exactly. The Guardian's language is not a tool. It is a bridge. To speak it well, one must think beyond the self, beyond fear, beyond greed. Only then does it awaken what has slept for ages. One evening, Lily spoke a longer phrase than she had before. Her voice trembled, but she persisted. The room grew warmer, the lights brighter, the maps on the walls glowed faintly, and strange patterns appeared on the holographic displays. Ethan stepped back, his mouth open. Lily, it's responding, he whispered. Luthar's hands shook. She is not just repeating words. She is commanding intent. If she continues, we may be able to trace the ancient paths, find the gateways, and reach the trials before hostile forces do. Lily felt the weight of the moment. She was afraid, yes, but there was also a thrill. For the first time in her life, she felt she was part of something larger than herself, something ancient and powerful. The next morning, Therion called a private council. We have intercepted new transmissions at the edge of our star charts, he said. Other fleets are moving. Some may already know of the awakening. If the Guardian's power surfaces fully, they will come to claim it for themselves. Luthar's voice was urgent. Then there is no time to waste. The first gate must be opened. Only the Guardian's language can activate it. And Lily, he looked at her intently. You are the key. Ethan placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Then we'll do it together. Whatever comes, we face it together. Lily took a deep breath. I don't know if I can, but I will try. For Earth. For everyone. And with that, their journey truly began. The language of the Guardians had awakened. The first steps toward the ancient trials were set. And Lily Stone, a young human linguist, had become the bridge between Earth and forces older than the stars themselves. The room was quiet again. But this time, it was a quiet, full of purpose. The echoes of the lost language lingered in the air, promising that the future would not be easy, but it would be remarkable. The space station was quiet in the early hours. Most humans slept while the aliens conducted their own routines. Lily sat at a small table with Ethan, Priest Luthar, and a few Sirith warriors who had been assigned as guides. The air hummed softly, but Lily could feel it differently now. The language she had spoken was alive inside her, and it made the station itself feel aware. Ethan spread star maps on the table. These are the signals we've been tracking, he said. The patterns are not random. They form a map, but not like any map we know. It points to something far outside the Sirith Union's charts. Something ancient. Luthar leaned forward. Yes. It is the first step. The Guardians left markers across the galaxy. They are keys to gates that lead to their trials. Only those who speak the language can find them and pass safely. Lily ran her fingers over the glowing lines on the map. Her mind buzzed. And the fleets Therion mentioned. They want to reach the gates too, right? Therion, standing behind the group, nodded. Some of the empires outside the Union are cruel and greedy. They seek power, not knowledge. If they reach the trials before you, they will not respect the Guardian's purpose. They may destroy Earth in the process. Ethan frowned. So it's not just about us learning. It's about survival. For everyone. Luthar's voice was grave. Yes. The trials test more than skill. They test intent, courage, and unity. Only those who understand the Guardian's values will pass. Lily took a deep breath. Then we have to act. But how? Where do we start? Luthar smiled faintly. The first gate is nearby, within the sector of this station. It has been dormant for centuries, hidden beneath layers of space debris. The language must be spoken perfectly to awaken it. Once open, it will take you across space instantly. But beware. It is not safe. The trials begin the moment you step through. Ethan looked at Lily. Looks like you're the key. I'll support you, but you have to lead. Lily nodded. Fear fluttered in her chest, but determination burned stronger. She repeated the phrases she had learned, speaking slowly and clearly. Her words felt heavy, yet natural. The room hummed. Lights flickered, and a low vibration passed through the floor. Luthar's eyes gleamed. Yes. You feel it. The gate responds to the language and to your intent. Focus, Lily. Believe that you are meant to open it, but do not seek power. Only truth and courage can guide you. With a noun Loxent 79, the hum grew stronger. A holographic form began to rise from the floor, faint at first, then solidifying into a circular structure. Symbols glowed around its edges, matching the runes on Luthar's map. Lily stepped closer. Place your hands on the frame, Luthar instructed. Feel the flow. Speak the final sequence. Lily obeyed. Her palms pressed against the cold, glowing surface. She spoke the words carefully, each syllable deliberate. The gate pulsed in response, and suddenly, a bright corridor of light opened in its center. The air felt thick, alive, and electric. Ethan's eyes widened. It worked. It actually worked. Luthar's hands shook with excitement. You have opened the first gate. But the trials begin beyond this point. They will test you in ways no human has faced before. Actor 4. Therion's expression remained cautious. We cannot accompany you fully. The gate responds only to the Guardian's language and those attuned to it. We can guide you partially, but the rest must be your journey. Lily turned to Ethan. Then, we go together. You, me, and the others. We face it as a team. The team moved forward. They stepped through the glowing corridor, and the world around them changed instantly. Stars stretched into streaks of light. The hum of the station vanished. The sensation was dizzying, yet exhilarating. When the light faded, they found themselves in a space unlike any they had seen. Vast, black emptiness stretched in all directions. Giant pillars of stone floated without support. Strange lights moved slowly, as if alive. It was silent, but it was not empty. Something watched them. Lily whispered the language softly, feeling the words pulse in the air. The pillars shifted slightly, forming a pathway. Ethan followed closely, documenting everything. Luthar's voice was in their minds, guiding them. This is the first trial, Luthar said. It tests awareness and understanding. Move carefully. Listen to the environment. Speak only with intent. The group proceeded along the path. Shadows flickered among the pillars. shapes that resembled beings from long ago. They seemed to reach for the humans and Sereth warriors, testing their reactions. One of the Sereth warriors, a young female named Sela, whispered nervously, "Are these illusions real?" "They are tests," Luthar replied. "They test fear, courage, and clarity. Treat them as challenges, not threats." Lily stepped forward. A shadow lunged toward her, large and dark. She did not scream. Instead, she spoke a phrase in the Guardian's language, calming the shape. The shadow froze, then dissipated into particles of light. Ethan's jaw dropped. You just stopped it." With words. Lily nodded. "I think it responds to how we feel. Not just what we say. Confidence, trust, those matter." The team moved deeper into the trial area. The pillars grew taller. Lights moved faster, forming patterns that seemed like puzzles. Some required the team to coordinate their movements. Others tested memory and observation. Every time Lily spoke the language clearly, the path adjusted, opening new routes or revealing hidden clues. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time seemed different here. Fatigue pressed on them, but fear was heavier. Shadows tried to mislead them, whispering doubts. "You are not ready. You will fail," they hissed. Lily closed her eyes and focused. She repeated the language, speaking with conviction. She imagined the Guardians themselves guiding her, reminding her of purpose. Slowly, the whispers faded. The path cleared, glowing with soft light. Ethan smiled. "We're making it. We're actually making it." Luthar's voice echoed softly. "Good. But be aware. Trials grow harder. The language will ask more of you. The Guardians test mind, body, and spirit. Only unity among the group will allow you to survive." As they advanced, they reached a large stone platform floating in the void. In the center was a pedestal, glowing with an inner light. Symbols hovered above it. Luthar motioned. "This is the first checkpoint. Lily, step forward and speak the words that open the next gate. It will test your intent and your understanding of the Guardian's purpose." Lily approached cautiously. She placed her hands on the pedestal. The symbols reacted to her presence. She repeated the phrases she had learned, but this time, the symbols glowed brighter. The platform vibrated. A soft wind seemed to blow from nowhere, carrying whispers of ancient guardians. Then, a portal appeared before them. It shimmered like water, reflecting stars that did not exist in normal space. "This is it," Luthar said. "The first gate beyond the station. Step through together. Speak with intent. Fear will not pass this point." The team held hands for a moment. Ethan nodded to Lily. "We do this together." With a deep breath, Lily led them forward. They stepped into the portal. Light enveloped them. The sensation was strange, weightless yet solid, terrifying yet safe. When the light faded, they stood on a new world, unlike anything they had imagined. It was vast and wild. Mountains floated in the air. Rivers of light ran across the ground. Strange creatures, neither fully animal nor fully alien, watched them from the distance. Everything seemed alive and aware. "This is just the beginning," Luthar said softly. "The trials will continue, but you have passed the first test. Unity, courage, and understanding. The Guardians are watching. They know you have begun the journey." Lily looked around, awe filling her. She had feared the unknown, but now she felt alive in a way she never had before. The language had opened doors. The trial had begun. And somewhere beyond, the Guardian's presence waited, challenging them to grow, to learn, and to survive. Ethan squeezed her hand. "Whatever comes next, We face it together. This is only the start. Lily nodded. The platform shimmered around them, signaling the start of the next phase of the trial. She took a deep breath, repeating the Guardian's language softly. With each word, the air vibrated, and the world around them seemed to respond. The journey was far from over. But for the first time, Lily understood. She was not just a linguist. She was a bridge. A human who could awaken powers long forgotten, and perhaps guide Earth into a new chapter among the stars. And in the distance, a faint shadow moved, watching them, waiting for the next test to begin.